I made $142,000 in the stock market in the last 2 weeks. The market's been absolutely crazy lately. There's so much going on. This video, I'm gonna break down everything that you need to know because I have another big trade that I'm gonna lay out there where I think I can make $100,000 plus by January of 2025. The market is shaping up for a massive storm right now, and right now is a massive opportunity to make some money. So I put my money where my mouth is. I'm gonna show you everything that I have open in my $800,000 portfolio, all the trades, the trade that I made to make $140,000, and then a trade that I had just set up 2 days ago that still works right now that I think is gonna make over $100,000 by January of 2025. So I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The market has been absolutely bonkers the last couple weeks. So July 10th, the Triple Q was over $500 a share. And by August 7th, it was $434 a share. That was like a 15 to 20% decline that happened in just a couple weeks. Now, declines like that don't happen all the time. That was a very sharp decline. But when there's blood in the streets, there's usually always opportunities. People were talking about the Japan carry trade that blew up the markets. People were also talking about a weaker consumer that's gonna lead to a recession in 2024. So I'm gonna break all this down for you right now. Are we going into a recession? Is the consumer weak? Is the Federal Reserve keeping interest rates too high for too long? What is happening? What do we do with our money? So the number one problem with most people when they invest in a stock market is they usually buy high and they sell low. That's the complete opposite of what you want to do. There's so much fear in the market when the market goes down that it's so hard for the typical person to feel confident to go buy shares of any company. They're scared that it's going to keep going down, and they're scared they're just going to catch a falling knife. So when shares right here at Triple Q were falling, every single news article was negative because it's what's popular at the time. When the markets are falling, they're going to write articles about why the market's crashing and why it could crash farther, why it could be the next giant recession. So when times like that happen, I am literally salivating out of the mouth. It's funny, but it's like legit, that's what I do. So shares, like I said, they were like $500 a share. They fell to $440 a share. So what did I do? So when shares were in free fall, your boy Brandon went out there and he bought the dip. He felt confident. He left Triple Q when it was at $500 a share. So guess what? Here's my trade right here. I bought 250 shares, August 6th. My price was $440 a share, and I threw $100,000 at it, okay? What is the price of Triple Q right now? $440 to $480. I made $40 a share right there. So the current price of Triple Q is $480. I bought them for $440, $40 a share profit, 250 shares. That's a quick $10,000 I made right there. 2 weeks, 10 grand. I put in $110,000, bang, 10% ROI. Easiest $10,000 that I have ever made. Because the problem is, when stuff goes down, people are so scared to buy stocks. But I always say this in all my videos, is if you're gonna buy a car today, but then a dealership calls you tomorrow and says it's 10% off, do you wanna buy it? Of course. If I was okay to buy the car for $50,000, why would I not be okay to buy it for $42,000? Why do I not want that discount? Not only did I buy shares of Triple Q straight up, but I bought call options on Triple Q and I sold put options on Apple stock. Look at what happened to Apple stock. Apple was at $230 a share. It dropped to $207. I sold put options right here. I got like $20,000 in premium, took that money, bought more shares at Triple Q. I double rolled that money. I'm really big on buying call options and selling put options when the market dips like that. So I told you early in the video to listen to people that actually practice what they preach. So this is what I did. 2023, I made $104,000 trading stock options. This year so far, I made $139,000 with options. I expect this to hit roughly 200K, maybe even a lot more because of the trade that I'm gonna go into in a little bit in this video. I think that trade is gonna push us over 100K profit on that single trade. So just to be conservative, I expect easy 200K profits this year with stock options and 100K last year. That's $300,000. It's so easy. I'm sitting at home, I'm researching this stuff, and anyone can do it. But the problem is most people aren't dedicated enough to spend 15 minutes to finish out this video to figure out that trade. And then when you finish out this video, go watch the video in the description explaining all the ins and outs of trading stock options. I mean, it's crazy. August of 2022, that was like 4 years ago. I had $275,000 in this account. Now I have $803,000 and I pulled money off of this account. People are gonna say, oh, well, you sent a bunch of money to Schwab, that's why you're up so much. So this dip right here, I bought a house. This dip right here, I slowly sold and bought a house, bought another house here, and I bought another house here. So I'm doing a net withdrawal from my Schwab account, but the value is way up. Just to show you one more spot, and then I'm gonna get back to the main point of the video. Last year alone, I made a 75% ROI. Now I get it that last year was a super good year. The NASDAQ was up 43%, but I was at 75%. I totally crushed it. Now, a big reason why I crushed the market is because of the stock option trades that I make, and I have all that in my Discord account, so you should probably check it out. And even right here, in 2023 net contributions, I took $24,000 away from the Schwab account, and I still made $240,000. So I'm not trying to tell you guys all this stuff just to brag and say, oh my God, I made $800,000 in 5 years. I'm doing this to inspire you guys and to show you guys that I'm just a regular guy and you could totally do this too. I had a regular 9-to-5 job until just a couple years ago, but once I have my strategy to trade options consistently with the lowest amount of risk possible, I went hard into it and it's working out really good for me. So this right now is a 6-month chart of the value of my portfolio. So July 31st, 2024, I had $803,000 in this account. I made a video around that time saying I'm not selling any put options, I'm not buying any call options. I think the market's a little bit overvalued. So I was just sitting, I was waiting patiently, and then the market took a massive turn. So I went from $800,000 to $660,000. I was down $140,000 in like 3 weeks. It sucked. Was it painful? Yes. Was I panicking? No. What was I panicking about? I need to go buy more shares. I need to buy some call options. I need to sell some put options. People were blowing up my comments saying, you're gonna get wiped out. You don't know what you're doing. You're taking on too much risk. You need to close out everything and just go buy bonds. And I'm like, you guys are crazy. They were telling me the market's gonna crash. The Japan carry trade, blah, blah, blah. Consumer recession, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. You have not read the hundreds of books that I've read on the stock market. You have not went to the seminars that I went to. You've not went to the classes I went to. And I'm almost a registered investment advisor. I'm about ready to take my Series 65 test so that I could actually give you guys legit financial advice. So I have a lot of information in my head that I feel like it's helpful for other people. So that's why I make these videos. So I sold puts, I bought calls, I bought those shares of Triple Q straight up like I showed you. I went from $660 to now $803,000. I'm pretty much flat with where I was before the dip started. But here's the key thing. Here's what no one's talking about. So everyone's gonna be like, oh yeah, great, you're back even. You bought the dip, you're great. That's not what I'm talking about. Here's the key thing, okay? Triple Q before the dip was $502 a share. Right now it's $480 a share. So I'm down $20 per share on Triple Q, but I'm even right now with where I was at before the dip happened. So when we realize this other $20 per share gain, it's pure profit. It's just straight printing cash. But that is the power of having conviction in your trades. You need to know what you're doing, because when dips happen, you don't want to run for the hills. You want to be ready to double down. You need to feel confident and say, if I was okay to buy shares for $500 a share, why would I not buy shares for $439 a share? Why would I not buy at that discount? Now, I know you might think I'm rambling right now, but you guys need to know this information. This is the difference of millions of dollars in your portfolio. I mean, this Schwab account in 20 years from now is probably gonna have $20 million in it. So do you wanna listen to my videos and what I talk about, or someone else who doesn't show you their portfolio, and people that just try to clickbait you, give you all this fear-mongering stuff, all this FUD? I'm straight to the point. I show you what I do. I show you all my trades. I'm about to show you the big trade that I just made, where I think it could literally make a crap ton of money. So yeah, I'm dead even where I was at. We went down $5,000 today. I don't care. I mean, I went down $140,000. I came up $140,000, and there's still a lot of juice left in the market where I can make that other $20 a share to where it's flat. Then this will probably be like $850,000 to be honest with you. So I'm gonna come out way ahead. Now, I get it that nothing is guaranteed. We're going into a period of uncertainty with the election. We don't know what the Federal Reserve is going to do. There's a lot of things that could happen that could crash the market in the short term, but the trades that I make and the put options that I sell, I have the strike prices way below the money, so I feel confident with my buffer. So just a quick glance over here at my portfolio, I'll get myself away so you can see. I have 912 shares of Triple Q. Those are worth $438,000. VOO, 441 shares, Tesla, 500 shares. I'm gonna hold that through the Robotaxi day. I'm gonna hold that for the long run. I made a good video on Tesla, actually. I'll put that in the description below. I recommend watching that because I think this could potentially 10x. It's not gonna happen overnight. Probably in like the next 5 years it could 10x. So I'm gonna hold on to those shares. I'll never sell them. Tesla sold some puts. Triple Q, I sold some puts. I'm at 15K here, 10, 10, 10, 9, 8. $2,000 on Apple. I sold those puts at the dip also. I actually sold these puts a little bit too early, but it's okay. I'm still up 2K on those. And Apple still has not went back to its all-time high. So I feel good about that. Now you guys are probably wondering, what is TMF down here? Is this your new big trade? Is this the thing that can make some big money? So yeah, you're right. I bought 10 call contracts yesterday. I spent roughly $7,000 on those. I did a TMF 117 of 2025, $58 call. So what TMF does is TMF tracks the prices of bonds. So I'm in the camp that interest rates are gonna go down, and when interest rates go down, bond prices go up. They work inverse to each other. So I think that the Federal Reserve is gonna cut. I think inflation's actually lower than what's being reported right now, and eventually it's gonna show up in the reports in the coming months. So that's gonna let the Federal Reserve have the okay to cut even harder than what they're projecting. So when the Federal Reserve cuts interest rates, rates will come down, and like I said, bond go up. So this will track the price of bonds. And not only will it track the prices of bonds, it's a triple leverage. And this is a good way to analyze what it does. So let's think this through. So this right here is a chart of the federal funds rate. So this is what the Federal Reserve had interest rates at. So here's a hiking cycle through 2015 all the way to like 2019, and then it held flat. Held flat from January of 2019 until July of 2019, and then they cut. This was leading into COVID, so they started cutting interest rates actually a little bit before COVID happened, not even knowing COVID was gonna happen. So they kind of got lucky that they lowered rates, and then COVID happened right here. They dropped them to zero overnight. So February of 2019, the Federal Reserve started to signal that they were gonna cut interest rates. So let's see what TMF did when they signaled that they were gonna cut interest rates. So February 2019, it was $191 a share. So roughly 1 year later, the shares ran up to $472 per share. That's roughly a 3x. So remember what I just said, the shares started to go up once they signaled that the rate cuts are coming. So right now is August 20th of 2024. They signaled that they were gonna confidently cut rates probably like a month ago. So from the signal of rate cuts until TMF peaked, it was 1 year. They cut rates from 2.4% to 0. So that was a 2.4% interest rate cut. Now, if we go into CME Fed Watch Tool, our current interest rate right now is 5.5%. The most likely scenario is 3.25%. So that's a 2.25% drop of interest rates roughly 1 year from now. So the point that I'm trying to say is this is a similar interest rate cut that we are expecting a year from now, and that's assuming that the economy stays robust. If the economy goes into a recession or things slow down, they will drop rates quicker. And I also think that if Trump gets elected, he's gonna kick Jerome Powell out, and he's gonna put someone in the Federal Reserve that is probably gonna cut interest rates a lot quicker. So like I said, TMF went up roughly 3x on the last cut cycle. So if we go up 3x from right now, we're looking at roughly $180 a share. $180 a share, I'm up $120 a share. But guess what? I bought 10 call contracts. 10 call contracts, I'm in control of 1,000 shares. 1,000 shares, and I make $120 a share. You do the math, $120,000 of profit. Now there's a lot of risks to this trade. Obviously, it doesn't have to go up like I said, but I feel like this is a trade that doesn't happen all the time, and I like it a lot, so that's why I did it. And if I lose $7,000, oh well. It's a very small percent of my portfolio. You can see it's roughly 1%, but these are the trades that I'm talking about. When things come across your desk that look sweet, that have potential to make a lot of money with low risk, I like to take those trades. I'm not saying you should take this trade. This is not financial advice, but that's just what I did. And the moral of the story is, have confidence in your trades. I'm confident in Triple Q for the long haul. So what did I do? I bought the dip when it fell. I was able to block out all the negative news articles, all the people talking crazy on X that the market's gonna crash, Jim Cramer going crazy saying we're gonna crash, slowing consumer. I looked into all the reports. We got a recent report, and that's when the market started bouncing back because the consumer was strong still, actually a lot stronger than expected. So that gave me confidence to buy this dip. But if you go and read a CNBC article and think that you are educated and you're making an informed decision, you're wrong. So that's the moral of the story. Don't forget, Tesla videos below, super good, explains everything. You see that I'm exposed to Tesla. And the option video, don't forget about that one in the description. I know I'm gonna say it's good because it's my video, but honestly, like, I was looking all over YouTube for a video that explained the stuff, how I explained it, and I couldn't find it. So that's why I made it. I made it out of necessity. And then also, if you made it this far, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.